America is playing this people. $2,000 stimulus check, food stamps not cut but delayed. And just to add on to it, y'all, they're cut in half, right? See, everything we're watching right before us, none of it makes sense. And the things that they're showing you, including myself, is a clear indication that they have a bigger agenda than what they are displaying. They're playing us right in front of our faces, right? Now, I'm going to get into each and every one of these points of how I feel about it, y'all. Once again, only my opinion. But let me just make sure I let y'all know, as a small disclosure, this is not a fear-mongering video. And this is not me trying to get people to run to the left or run to the right, choose sides or whatever the case is. I'm just expressing my opinion. Let me make that clear, y'all. Okay? However, I do believe that America is playing this people. They're lying to you. You don't start realizing certain things until you leave the country. Okay? They're playing you. They're keeping money away from you. They're keeping information away from you. And they're just wasting your time, right? Because they're only trying to utilize you for as good and as long as they can utilize you to their benefit. Understand what I'm saying, y'all? All right? So I'm going to get directly into these points. Y'all drop in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more videos like this, y'all. But we're going to get into this, y'all. This is crazy. All right? So, number one, the first thing I want to say about this is the $2,000 stimulus check is hush money. Yeah, it's hush money. Listen, y'all, when a man is cheating on his wife and he has a mistress, if that mistress knows about his wife, which back in the day, y'all, they were real P back then. They was for real. They was, hey, baby, I got a wife on the other side of town. Ray Charles wasn't lying. But when he have that mistress and he let that mistress know what's going on, most time he give her what we call hush money, right? That's to keep your mouth closed about what's going on. Close your eyes. Close your ears. You know what's going on, but I want you to act like you don't know. See, family, we seen this play already. How many years back, y'all? Going all the way back to 2020, about 5 years back, 6 years back, roughly, when COVID-19 was going on. Yeah. And everybody wanted to choose Trump because he run the country like a business. Yeah, he's a businessman. Yep. And everybody was ready to run over there to the Republican Party because it was all about the money. And he came through with that stimmy check. He came through with the $1,200. And I think he came back with a $1,600 or $1,800. Right? Y'all can correct me down below in the comments. But I know for a fact it was 2 stimmies. Yeah. Talking about Trump is running it like a business and he's stimulating the economy. And then after that, he left us all high and dry. See, that's the same play we are about to witness. That's that hush money of let's give the people $2,000, right? Because we know that they're going to only give it back to us by buying from our restaurants, by buying our designer, by buying at our production companies and buying at the things that what we call groceries. Yeah. The groceries that we are providing for them. We know that they're going to purchase and buy our products and services. So let's give them $2,000 to stimulate the economy. Soon as that money is gone, you can't take nothing back. Soon as that money is gone, you got to shut up. Why? Because it was intended for you to do that. See, a lot of people are pushing back when it comes to the food stamps being cut. A lot of people are talking. And what a lot of people fail to realize is, and I got to keep it all the way funky, y'all, is Caucasian people, white people stick together. More white people are on food stamps than it is black people. See, the problem is with black people is they loud with it. Very loud, talk, right? A lot of white people are on food stamps, and this is not a shade to them, by the way. But they're on food stamps. One thing that white people do that black people don't is stick together. Most of the time, they stick together. And so Trump is receiving a lot of pushback because those people who happen to be majority of food stamps, they actually vote. Yeah, Those people who happen to be majority of food stamps, they send letters. They go to their local city council, right? They are making sure that their voice is being heard. In other words, they exercise their rights, and these are just facts. Look at the numbers, right? But yes, you have Hispanics on food stamps. You have black people on food stamps. You got Italians on food stamps. I mean, you have a wide range of people who are on food stamps. But hey, don't take my word for it. Go to Google and see who's on food stamps the most, right? And my point that I'm making is those people who are on food stamps the most, yeah, they unify. Yeah, we're going to send them letters out. We're going to vote. We're going to make sure that our voice is being heard. They exercise their rights. And so now you have people like Trump saying, hey, I'll send out a $2,000 stimulus. Why? Because he been hearing the voice of the people. Yeah, see, people think it's just only social media. I'm not just talking about what he's saying on social media. I'm talking about who banging up that line, who calling the phone, who's sending letters, who's threatening to say, we're not going to spend our dollars here, who's threatening to say, we're not going to allow our kids to go to this school. You follow what I'm saying? Things that's going to make them lose money, lose reputation, and lose the side of the people. They need the people, y'all. The power is always within the people. Drop that down below in the comments. Power is within the people, okay? But with that being said, y'all, getting back to the point, that $2,000 stimulus is hush money. That's why he's speaking about it. That's why he's, dangling it in their faces, is because he know that people are going to be quick to get the money, and after that, they're going to spend the money, and he know that I don't owe you anything else. Whatever we do from here on out is our business. You took the money. It's almost like signing a deal with the devil. Moving on to the next thing, y'all, is going to be number 2. Inflation is high, but they decrease stamps, right? Inflation is high, but they decrease stamps. Reno, what are you saying right now? Let's break this down, y'all. See, inflation is around 3% in the U.S., right? Inflation is around 3% in the U.S. Now, we've seen it get up to about 9 to 10%, to my understanding, by studying the analytics, all right? Correct me down below in the comments if I am off. But back in 2022 was the highest time we seen gas. That was around the time where gas was about $5, $6 for a gallon in Georgia. Right? Typically, we see this in California, but it was crazy in Georgia. But that was because of that inflation. So now we're here in, 2025, and we're witnessing a 3% rate of inflation. Now, although it may sound little, let me break this down for you. For every $10 product, you're going to spend 30 cents more, right? For every $100 product, you're going to spend $3 more. For every $1,000 product, you're going to spend $30 more. See, that adds up. And then think about the taxes, right? You got to really think about every single penny when you're talking about people who are in poverty, people who are poor, all right? They're striving to make $1. Literally, they're living for $1. And that's because either they're working a job that does not pay them, up to par. They're on these welfare programs, and I get it. I know somebody gonna say, well, Reno, that's their fault. They should do this, they should do that. But listen, y'all, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. Some people have become accustomed to this program and these programs because it fits what they have going on in their current lifestyle. And some people actually need it, such as people who are elderly people, right? They can't work. What you gonna say about them? Reno, that's 80-year-old man got to go out there and get a job. What are you going to say about those type of individuals? Again, y'all, it's about not casting judgment on certain individuals, okay? But my point that I am making is this right here, y'all. Why would you want the inflation to be high, but you are decreasing the amount of food stamps? It's simply showing how insensitive they are. All right, and how much they value people eating, okay? Think about the single mom who has a child or children, because typically they have children, and, maybe she have a ain't-ish baby daddy or whatever the case is, but she got kids and she can't afford to pay a babysitter. So she was making a little decent money by doing something on the side so she can pay certain things, but she was utilizing that welfare money off of food stamps or whatever the case was. And guess what? If she go to work full time, who gonna watch the kids? But guess what? If she stay home and watch the kids, who gonna feed the kids? She was making money with the food stamps, not by selling them, but by utilizing them so she can feed the kids. The point is, y'all, is this right here. It shows, once again, how insensitive they are when it comes to that. You got to think about these things. Inflation is high, but they decrease the stamps. Inflation is at 3%. What are we talking about here, right? Let's move on to the next thing, y'all. I want to shed light on this right here, number 3. They're still paying for wars. They're still paying for wars. So we got to cut the food stamps in half, right? Now, let's make this clear. When it comes to the food stamps, right, they had what we call a $4.65 billion, emergency fund for that, right? Typically, they have times 2 of that, but they had only half, which allow other people to only receive half of their payment. So if you got $350, you was roughly around $175. If you got $200, you was around about $100. All right. Whatever it was that you had, you ended up receiving half of that. Okay. But not only that, it was going to take, more weeks and possibly even months to receive it. Reno, what does this have to do with paying for wars? Well, I want you to understand this. They have a budget for wars, but they don't have a budget to feed the poor. All right. They got a budget for wars, but not a budget to feed the poor. We got to shortchange them on that. But let me just enlighten y'all on some information real quick. So yes, we know that the Trump administration committed to partially funding the SNAP program with a $4.65 billion payment, right? We understand that, but check this right here, y'all. In 2024, Biden, and by the way, I get it, some may say, well, Trump is only cleaning up Biden's mess. Well, what y'all don't realize is that they eat dinner together. I'm not talking about Biden. I'm just saying Republicans and the Democrats, they eat dinner together. They're married. I don't care about none of what Biden did. They all on the same agenda, just different teams. Let's make that be clear. But in 2024, y'all, Biden actually, what did he do, y'all? He had signed a $95 billion military aid package. They only got $4.65 billion for food, though. Right, but he signed the military aid $95 billion military aid package. Okay, and on top of that, they created this National Defense Authorization Act of 2024. Yeah, this means that we have a budget for that. Do y'all know how much the budget was? $886 billion. We got money literally for wars, but we don't have it for poor people to eat, right? Now, Reno, who this money going to? The Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, Indo-Pacific region, okay? Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, Indo-Pacific region. Now, I don't know who Indo-Pacific region is, but what I do know is they're receiving money. They're on the payroll. Reno, what are you saying right now? It should not be to where our people do not have food to eat, but they got but they got money to fight. They got money to fight. That's all I'm saying, y'all. Now, the next point I want to bring to y'all attention is, number 4, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is at a stalemate, right? They're at a stalemate. So that means that they had to compromise, in other words, right? Y'all know where Donald Trump live with it. Y'all know where he at with it, okay? Donald Trump like, hey, man, I'm about my bread. I'm about my green. Forget the people. And then, of course, y'all know the Democratic Party is like, well, we with the people, give them welfare, allow them to depend on us. We're going to give them rights. And y'all know how it go with the blue side and the red side. Y'all already know this. Reno, what are you saying right now? Well, I want y'all to understand something. They had to come to a stalemate because one party is like, bro, we ain't going to give them nothing. The other party like, yo, we're going to lose the people. We got to give them something. The other party like, man, so what? The other party like, yo, we can't lose the people. And so they came to a compromise, a stalemate, to where now they got to at least give them something. I'm telling y'all, it was a stalemate. It was only a compromise. That's why you're still getting something. But what a lot of people don't know is that Trump is still trying to fight it. He got lawyers right now trying to fight the fact that he got to pay the $4.65 billion to the people. He's trying to fight that. He don't want to pay out no money. It's a money grab. Point blank period. Now, the last thing is going to be this right here, y'all, number 5. That is, they don't care if crime rises or if babies eat. They don't care if crime rises or if babies eat. All right? And we're going to get straight into it, y'all. When it comes to crime rising, y'all, if it get any worse, okay, it haven't got to that point now, but if it get bad, when people are not able to eat, and if y'all look at these videos, look at how people are acting with food in these stores. Look at how people are stocking up. People are taking all the tissue, taking all the waters. They taking everything, all right? If people feel like they got to start looting and start rioting, martial law going to come, y'all. And this is when the government's military is going to pretty much police us. You're going to start seeing tanks around here. You're going to start seeing people with big guns. You're going to start seeing people right there down the street from your house with a tank. And if you trip, if you got a problem, if you steal, if you loot, if you do anything wrong, they're going to blow it. I'm just being honest, y'all. But the point that I'm making is that why allow it to get to that point? Why take away something that was helping the community? Why take away something that was feeding kids? Why take away something that was helping and not harming? It's because they care about their dollars more than they care about the people. And that's why I say America is playing in these people's face. They talking about a $2,000 stimulus check. Okay, food stamps are cut but not delayed. And I'm sorry, y'all, they're cut but they're also delayed. And here's the thing. They're cut halfway, right? You still playing with me. It's almost like they're giving you a helping hand, but then they're turning around and taking that same hand and pushing you down. Like, hey, I'm going to help you up. And then they push you right back down. Once you give a person the $2,000 stimulus check, don't you know that that's it? That's it. See, they're trying to cut, what do we call it, y'all? Recurring revenue. They're trying to cut the recurring. Yeah, they're trying to cut their subscription. Yeah, they about to cancel their Netflix. The SNAP program is their Netflix. They trying to cancel that. Let's give them a one-time payment, and after that, that's it. Let's cut it all off. We got bigger and better things to do, things that they don't even know about. Just be aware, y'all. But like I said, this is just my opinion, y'all. Okay, number 1, the 2K stimulus check is hush money. Number 2, inflation is high, but they decrease stamps. It don't make sense. Okay, number 3, they're still paying for wars. Number 4, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is at a stalemate. They had to compromise. And number 5, y'all, they don't care if crime rises or if babies eat. That's just my opinion, y'all. Y'all drop in the comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about everything that was said. Y'all drop in the comments and let me know if there was any correction that needed to be made. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about what's going on in the world right now. But family, I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.